Welcome back to MidPoint. Editor-in-Chief at Campus Reform, seen and read across the broadcast spectrum, making some sense of what happens behind all those ivy-covered walls. Bonham joins us again right here on MidPoint. Caleb, the thing that catches me on this right now, this is a nation that is billions of dollars in debt. And as we look at the president's idea here to have free community college for everybody, we're basically looking at the fact that for every 10 students that enter community college, this is from Forbes magazine, only 3 graduate within 3 years. This is so much more about the American educational system, because aren't we basically then trying to push forward people who don't really prepare for the education, aren't ready for it, and might not be the right people to give a free education to?
Statistic confused me because most people graduate college in 4 years. So for people to not graduate in 3 years is in many ways kind of expected. But the concern here is that, yes, you can make a wonderful living in a tradesman position where you need to go to a technical college or, that sort of thing. You can go to school for a couple of years for community college and then transfer for a 4-year institution. But what this bill is intended to do, or this plan, it's not a bill, is to help those less advantaged, the people that need maybe a little more assistance, those that are receiving Pell Grants, which already provide most assistance to those looking to go to community college. Pell Grants will.
Well, let me bring this up right here while you're at Pell Grants. Wouldn't it make more sense to increase the size of a Pell Grant?
Well, exactly. And here's the concern with the community college plan, is that what you're now doing is offering universal access to community college to every single American. It doesn't have any age specifications from what we've seen so far. It's any American that wants to go to college can receive free community college. And what you're doing is you're taking that away from the people who really need it. In all seriousness, is that money can be better spent, better utilized, having some sort of guidelines attached to it if you're going to be using taxpayer funds. But like you said before the break, this is a political push in many ways. They're using this as an opportunity to try to put conservatives or Republicans or whoever you want to attach to it, those that oppose an idea of universal, taxpayer-funded education, in a position where they have to either expand the role of government or they have to say, we're not going to fund this. And both will be played as negatives during campaign mode. And so that's the reason that, this money should be used for those who need it. I definitely always want to provide assistance, but you want to make sure that you're making a wise use of the taxpayers' money.
Well, if we're talking about a wise use of taxpayer money then, and please correct me if I'm wrong on this, wouldn't it be better to spend this money here, and we're talking about $60 billion over 10 years in a cost-sharing partnership with states. A lot of that is taxpayer money. Wouldn't it be wiser to spend this money on grade school and in high school education? Because let's see if we can be even more frank. Many times the kids coming out of grade school and high school are coming out as complete blithering idiots because they're not getting taught the right thing in high school and grade school, and they're not even ready for community college. So shouldn't we be spending more money at that stage of our educational system instead of trying to pay for things that some people could pay for anyway?
Well, and here's the thing. It is $60 billion right now, but when Obama campaigned on the Affordable Care Act, he touted that it was only going to cost $900 billion. Well, the CBO came out and said that the Obamacare is going to cost over $1.8 trillion. So the idea that this free community college for all is going to be conducted effectively at $60 billion is absolutely preposterous. It's going to cost far more money than that. But yes, you are correct. We need to refocus how we do education in America. We need to make it local. We need to get the government out of education. We need to, President Obama is definitely pushing the community college angle, but there are for-profit colleges that offer a wonderful education that this administration has, in many stories that have been reported, hasn't looked favorably to them. There's a huge reform that needs to take place with how this country views and funds education to make it better and to make the job market more accessible for students that are graduating right now.
30 seconds, and the basic element here is to create a smarter individual coming out of grade school and high school. Wouldn't that be better spent money?
It would, and I think the first role that parents and people that are listening can play in creating a smarter individual is when you're choosing a college, stay in your financial lane. there's no need to go into $30,000 in debt, which is the average for a student that is graduating for an education if that's not what you need. Stay in your financial lane, get the education you need, pursue your dreams, and just work hard. You'll make it if you just treat people right and work hard.
And remember this, here's another stat. 1/3 to 1/2 of recent college grads taking jobs that usually go to high school graduates, they are underemployed. So even going to college doesn't mean you're guaranteed a job anymore, unfortunately.
But at least they're on their parents' plan, am I right?
There you go. You are right about that. Caleb Bonham, we're all out of time, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us. We will follow the story.
Thanks for having me.
All right, take care. We return with the under-table dealings over Keystone and how Congress might react this week in response to the events in France. Bulls and Bears also at 34 minutes after the hour.